playing flanker on offense, it was like a second because I'm a running back. I've been a running back since 7th grade.
You see the holes. All you're looking at is the holes.
Like, bro, like the transition for me was easy athletically, but IQ-wise, I suck. Listen, my Reds teammates are gonna be mad at me if I didn't tell this story, okay?
Let's go.
I think the minute I stepped on a practice field for rugby, the calling happened.
An 8-year plan to be on the team. And I was in it within 2 years.
Don't wait until you are a pro to be a pro. Right.
And I walk around with a rugby ball sometimes and they're like, what is this child on?
It looked like it was heavy.
It's up, it's not up.
You know, that's the first time I played like professionally.
I'm making rugby money. How can I make money outside of it?
And there's 2 Scottish guys, and they said, "Oh, you're here for the movie."
That rugby is a game for all shapes and sizes, all cultural aspects.
He looked at me and he says, "You guys are awesome."
Grow rugby, 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 grow rugby. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Grow Rugby. My name is GiftTime Ibelu, and this is a show where we speak to people about the opportunities that they have found, created, or taken advantage of via rugby. Guys, what a tough weekend that we had this week. Man, like from a USA overall standard, wasn't the hottest week. I think on Thursday, Friday, officially Madison Hughes decided to step down as captain and as a participating member of the USA Rugby Men's Sevens team, which is always tough. You know, we're going to miss the chin and that neck. It was the chin, the neck, and then the man bun, you know? Yeah, is it a USA Rugby team without that combo? But no, we lost him. And then, of course, the harsh mess that was known as the USA versus Canada game. If you guys got a chance to watch it, not the greatest performance for the USA, which would have been all right, except for the fact that it was 1 against Canada, and we lost to Canada for the first time since 2012 in 15s. And number 2, it was a Rugby World Cup qualifier. Another big loss, and which means we're going to be taking a longer path. But 3, on a positive, you know, we get to play them again and, you know, try and see if we establish either our repage movement or, you know, maybe we get some of these points so that we can match it up. But not the greatest setup. Not the greatest setup. Like, we got to do better. We got to do better. I don't know why my hair is doing that, but we got to do better. We got to do better. But on a plus side, shout out to Alicia Washington. She is a USA Rugby member, New York Rugby Club member, but most importantly, she just got her first game as a Worcester Warriors women over in the English Premier League for rugby for women. So congratulations to her. And of course, congratulations to all the teams that are now getting a chance to start playing rugby more consistently, especially at the collegiate level, because it's nice to be back. It's nice that it's back, man. So congratulations to everybody who's gotten a chance to do that. You know, you guys are getting a chance to breathe. I mean, you know, who's going to know what's going to happen with the Delta variant and all that? I know hopefully we don't go into another quarantine situation, but for now, until said otherwise, let's be happy and just be able to consistently get that. Guys, I have a really awesome guest for you guys today. This one's a little different, you know. Sometimes it's you like to come back to the grassroots elements of it, and you got to love people who have personality, especially in this rugby industry. This is a guy I gotten a chance to know over the last year and a half, through a Facebook group known as the BIPOC Rugby Group. But this guy's a dude who's been hitting a lot of energy. Coming out of Dallas, he'd only been playing rugby for 4 years, but has already been moving around, went and involved himself in a meetup group for rugby, which is kind of wild because, you know, we always think that the meetup is going to be at like a sevens tournament or something like that, but this was literally just like rugby people meeting up, but not within a rugby atmosphere. It was kind of very, very, very digital socialization, you know? You got to love it, 2021. But it's a dude who's been mad excited. Got a really interesting life, and I think it's really emblematic of the early stages, especially of rugby and the development of seeing how people enter into the sport with such vision and such ideas and excitement that we want to be able to cultivate, whether it is, a kid youth level or whether you're talking about adult club. But he played for the Dallas Reds, been a former football player turned rugby player, just a ball of energy, loved it. Talking about my guy, Brandon Davis. Man, it's going to be a great episode. You guys are going to really love it. Just this is one of those where you get to just enjoy. This is where you enjoy. It's Labor Day. It just was Labor Day. Technically, Labor Day would have happened the day before I post this. So, I'm yeah. So, it was Labor Day weekend. Again, it's relax. Sometimes you want to get some candy with that meat and salad, and this is going to be some good candy, great information, great talk, really great idea. Brought some solid, really, really legitimate fun times and conversations. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. And please, I just wanted to quickly say, please, if you guys have gotten a chance, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you're on YouTube. And if not, hit that notification button on your Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify. Just subscribe. We want to be able to continue to get these names out, be able to continue to show different forms and just enjoyable conversation, y'all. That's what this is about. Just enjoyable conversation with rugby people. Can't even be real rugby people because we all basically grassroots. We haven't really gotten to that point where it's it's the elite levels here and here. Everybody's just mad down to earth. Just mad down to earth. And that's what it's about. So I hope you guys go ahead and check out some of our past episodes as well, too. If you haven't now, do it after this episode. And if you have, make sure to check to see if there's other episodes that you guys haven't gotten. But definitely go ahead. You can, if you're not on our YouTube, go ahead and like us on YouTube at youtube.com/GiftTime Rugby Network. And of course, like I said, check us out on all our podcast audio streaming services. We out there hard like that. But guys, I don't want to hold you guys up anymore. Oh, I do want to hold you guys up one more time because I need to throw down the commercial. Check down below. Green Geeks. Definitely the #1 server for creating websites or any digital products, e-commerce stores, whatever. I'm not here to talk about Squarespace and talk about Wix because I don't like them. But Green Geeks is not a website, but it is a server, and it allows you to be able to do what you want, how you want it, with as much space as you want it at a very affordable rate. I use it for my websites, plural. And basically, I just feel like I got autonomy over it. And the pricing is amazing. We're talking about $4.99 per month. You do it at a yearly basis. You're talking about $60 a year to basically post whatever it is you want. I definitely want you guys to have the time, especially if you're building up for your own branding within rugby or your own store, self-sustainability, fundraising. It doesn't matter. Utilize Green Geeks. And you guys can check out the link down in the description to be able to get a percentage off, almost 60% off for your first year, and then just know what it fully is about. So just hit the link in the description below. And of course, please check out Rugby Outlet Mall. This is where we another site that is actually hosted off of Green Geeks, utilizing the WordPress website. But you guys, we are trying to just continue to change and hold culture. We're putting up our stuff and things for you to be able to remember and set in. So guys, go check out rugbyoutletmall.com. Check out some of our stuff out there because we're bringing in so much more. We're coming up on the last days of our current stock before we redo the entire thing. Redo it all. Sending it all out. This is day one people stuff, all right? Day one people stuff. And you guys can use product code Greaux Rugby for 20% off all products under GiftTime Rugby Network and more. So it's actually everything. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm not going to hold it off any longer. This is the wonderful, the awesome Brandon Davis.
Greaux Rugby, 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 Greaux Rugby.
What's What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Grow Rugby. My name is GiftTime and Bailu, and we got a very, very I, very B, very super P, the super person. Yeah, there we go. Getting it right. On to the podcast today, Brandon Davis. Bro, Brandon, thank you so much for coming through.
You know what I mean? I'm 31, single, no kids, okay credit. What's up?
Let them know. Let them know, okay? This is stellar, above average. This is what we want, okay?
Above average.
Above average. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right? We do it but he's not so unapproachable. That's what we want, all right? It's approachable. But he's got that ish, so don't underestimate this brother right now. But yeah, look, Brandon, man, I love it. Thank you for coming on the show. I always like to start off, obviously, how we get to know people. And, you know, for you, obviously, it has been the BIPOC group. That has been a group that has, ironically, since quarantine, been far greater of a reward in terms of connection and network than I probably could have ever imagined. You good?
Hold on.
Don't worry. See, this is why we don't do this live. This is why we don't do it live. So we get these out of the way. We good. No worries. But yeah, you know, seeing you through BIPOC, seeing your energy like wildly. Now I see you, this man out here doing freaking social media meetup groups in rugby, which changes it to a whole other level. Out here doing Black Rugby Rocks out here in Atlanta. Of course, it would be Atlanta of all places. And so, like, yo, we had to, like, whenever you came up, you're like, yo, can I be on the show? I was like, all right, let's see this. And then when I saw you were doing all that, I was like, okay, this dude's bringing a different energy. Like, you bring a different energy, and I like that. It's not even so much different. It's a familiar energy. It's an energy that I can vibe with, man. And that's what it's about.
Hey, interlocking special connection. You know, you gotta have that spiritual connection. I feel you. I love your energy. I gotta match your energy. What you matching? I gotta do that. It's only right. You know what I mean?
It must be. It is the balance of the things. All right. Amen. I love it. Well, look, man, you know, as I go on every show, I always say it's always important to know every superhero's origin story. So, Brandon, for you, are you ready for this question?
Let on the gift. You a gift to my gift.
Let's go. Brandon, tell me, how'd you get started in rugby?
Well, basically this. Honestly, I had a homeboy, his name Markel Pearson. I played football with him at Cedar Hill High School here in Dallas, outside Dallas. And nice. I'm like, I just came back from arena football. And I was basically saying, I didn't know what else to do. I was like, I'm kind of done with football. I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually done with football. Word. So my homie told me, hey, Brandon, come back to play rugby. I'm like, rugby? I'm like, bro. Black people don't play rugby. Like,
that's what I say. Look, I told people don't realize that's been a real phrase that we always get, in particular within the community. It goes, yo, hey man, you want to come? I remember. Sorry to interrupt you. I remember when back in the day when I was single and not fianced and everything. Hey baby, I love you very much. So this is old stories, all right? Old stories. Don't go against me. But I was trying to talk to one girl and I was trying to invite her over to a game. She was like, what? Rugby a white people sport. I'm not gonna go see no rugby.
Yeah. Hey, I still get talked to about right now. I still get it like they were like, bro, Brandon, you play a rugby, bro? Like tell me, like so yeah. So I ain't gonna lie. Some of my friends from the inner city, I'm not gonna say hood, but some of my friends from the inner city, they like, bro, what are you doing? But when they come out to come watch me play, they like, bro, say, bro, oh God, bro, I'm about to get them, but they ain't got pads though, B. They ain't got pads. Bro. I don't know. I might have to.
Yo, I'm telling you, I feel like this is the communal statement, and it literally always it will start off, yo, what are you doing? Black people play rugby. They crazy. Yo, you don't have pads. Yo, I'm not gonna hurt myself like that. And then
I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not getting paid for it.
I'm not getting paid for it.
Trust me. My mom right now is telling me, I told you so. You were going to get hurt in rugby. You're going to mess up your job. You ain't getting paid for it, Brandon. I don't understand why you doing that. I'm like, because it's fun. I can't just, honestly, I can't just work a job and that's it. I have to have hobbies. I am an energetic person, as you already know, Gift. I'm an energetic person.
You can't be holding that inside. Like, it doesn't do well. Just trying to continue.
That's so wrong. God would be so mad at me if I did that because he created me like this.
You're like, yo, he gave you all this good energy. You're not even gonna use it. You're not gonna use it.
You get it. You get it,
bro. No. You know what the other part is, and I love that you had said this at the beginning. 31, right? So it's the same thing. I've been hearing since, obviously since kid. Like when you get 30, everything slows down. You get injury prone, or like you're gonna feel sloshish, and you see all the memes that go into 30, like, man, everything shut down. Bro, whenever you turn 30, you're 31 now. So second year, I'm 35. Have you felt your energy really drop?
No.
Have you felt like you slowed down on anything really?
After my Achilles, yeah.
Okay, that's a different situation. All right, we got freak situations over here.
After my Achilles, yeah. After my Achilles injury, I basically, honestly, that was the hardest 3 months of my life.
Right.
I had to sit down, be on bed rest. I've never had a major injury before. This was actually my first. I've been playing sports since I was 6 years old, all the way up till now. So I've never had a major injury. So this was my first major injury where I couldn't go nowhere. Dang, it was a mental battle. I can actually say that.
But you know what? It's probably one of those things where as much everything has gone well in athletically for you, and to be able to see what you can do to be able to pull out from it has such a long-standing benefit down the line. Because now it's just like, okay, I know this. I understand this struggle. But I'm not going to let it be my fear factor from this point.
Exactly. Right now, I'm so mad right now. My 7 squad is in the national tournament. They're going to Seattle right now. So, you know what I mean? It's just, I just haven't really been to practice. I've been just working, but I've been rehabbing like crazy. Honestly, I've been seeing how much rehab costs. I'm like, no, I got Planet Fitness and I got YouTube. So I just YouTube that much. So, no.
Inner city medical life. That's true. It's true story, man. That rehab is no joke, man. I've done it only for small things like thigh and little muscle injuries that lasted way longer. But bruh, when you ain't got insurance, they don't play.
Oh God, no. They should be like Canada, just give us free health insurance. I'm telling you. I see why Canadians are so nice.
Look, don't believe that lie, man. Don't let that demeanor fool you, okay? That's how they get you. They say, "Oh, we got free healthcare. Oh, we're gonna be nice," and then bop. They want to start getting all cocky about having border walls against the U.S. and
Shira Robertson, that's you, ma'am. Shira Robertson, stand up, Miss Canadian.
So for the audience out there, another BIPOC BIPOC rugby group member, just like Canadian. Actually, I don't know what she plays in Canada, but I know she's Canadian and she plays in Canada. And she's actually pretty significant in Canada as well as a player. So yeah.
Oh, so she got pulled like that? Okay.
I think I've heard stories. You know, I got to keep my ear on the down in the grapevine. I think that's how the phrase go. I'm in the grapevine. I grow out of the grapevine.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, man. That's. I love the fact that it's you know it. A lot of people always talk about the fact of playing rugby and the dangers or whatever, the perceived dangers. And look, any freak accidents can happen. So I don't consider your Achilles to be something of the norm, as opposed to it just be a situational thing. But outside of that moment, you get this idea of oh, is rugby going to be too wild? And you're like, nah, man, this thing is for me, I remember one of the biggest reasons why I was able to keep that I played was, because I played sports, but not to the extent that you did. But I played football, and then I did a little bit of sports stuff for college, but nothing really real. But it was something in the being able to feel like you're still in college despite living an adult life. You get to play. There's this purpose. There's this funness. There's levity, getting to meet people, having a reason to travel. Like, honestly, rugby gave me a reason to travel that I probably would not have had.
God, half the time, like, honestly, I play for Dallas Reds. We're one of the oldest rugby clubs in the United States.
For the record, you guys have been a big rival of New Orleans, and I mixed on it because you guys often play and compete against a Louisiana team, but that Louisiana team also happens to be my former team's rival. And whenever we're playing them, I was always like, yo, I don't like this beating that they keep giving to us. So I'm very mixed in this triangle life. Also, you got a lot of good people with the Dallas Reds. I know quite a few people. There's, what's his name? Nigerian. There's a couple Nigerians, actually.
Man, there's too many Africans on that mug, bro.
I'm telling you, the takeover, all right? The takeover.
You gotta understand, it's different dialects of African on that team. Like, why try to do African accent? I don't even sound like that. I sound like this. You know what I mean? Like, well, my bad. You know what I mean? I got this boy named Simba on my squad. His name's Simba. And you know what I mean? Brandon, you get on my nerves. I do not talk like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, Simba. Shout out to you.
Man, oh, I love it. So kind of backtracking. So you've been playing sports since you were 6. And now I know you were a Texas boy, so I know obviously football was injected into your blood like a vaccine from the womb.
I had to be. Won a couple state championships. Me and was on TV. Deion Sanders' kids went to our school. You know what I mean? That was pretty cool. Shout out DeAndre, I love you. But yeah, man, it's just been really cool, man. It's just going. Actually, I have to say I'm gonna be biased here, okay?
Okay.
I have to say I've seen different high school football around the United States. I've been and seen it, but it's just a different atmosphere. Like, even I got friends that come from. I had a friend from Canada come down here, and he came to one of my games. Like, I played for the Cedar Hill. I played for the Cedar Hill Longhorns.
Mm-hmm.
We had a real live actual Longhorn on our sideline.
Yeah. Football in Texas, particularly Dallas, is basically college football, but for a different level. Look, whenever you have stadiums that are college stadiums, they're college stadiums. Like, it's a different way of looking at the game.
Holds over 35,000 people. Yeah.
Right. That's insane. No high school should be holding that many people for a high school game. High school, not college, not even D3 college. There's some D3 college teams that can't even get half of that amount of people in it. And high school game will get like that plus standing capacity.
Very much so. It's just I've lived it. It was some of the great. I can actually say that was one of the greatest times of my life. Honestly, like, especially the playoffs run, win the state championships, and just in Texas too. We don't have, like in other states, you got like 2, 3, or 4 rounds. We have 6 rounds to get to the state championship. That's a long. Like, what? We play a regular season game.
It's too many teams.
We play a regular season already, 10 games. Then we gotta play an extra 6. You know what I mean? To get to the state championship.
Bruh. Like, like, look, not only do we want to do the March Madness, we're also going to do the bowl games while simultaneously letting the algorithm try and pick who's the number 1, so we can all come together for 32 rounds of football plus the regular season as well.
Yeah. On top of that, I think Texas is the only Texas is the only state that allows instant replay.
Yeah.
We have instant replay in high school.
Yeah, because again, Texas and football is just like it's a different beast altogether. It's a different beast. So you had all this, and this is in high school. What happened after high school? Where'd you end up going to college and then ending up arena football?
I played college at TJC. It was junior college. Mm-hmm. That's the only regret in life. I wish I took track scholarships because I was all state in track.
What was your event?
100, 200, 4x1, 4x2.
You were a wide receiver, weren't you?
Huh?
You were a wide receiver or a corner, weren't you?
Right back, baby. That's why I love playing with you. Hey, listen, that's it. Why I play rugby? I'm like, wait a minute. Especially they have you playing flank for the first time. I'm like, listen, every time they always put you on, like, so what do you do? I played football and I ran track. All right, you're a wing. All right, I ain't gonna lie. I love the wing when I'm not tired, but boy, you need some stamina when you play flanker. On God in them.
Yeah,
you need stamina.
That was all I did. Look, I really credit my coach whenever I first started playing because I told him I was like I was a linebacker and I'm a fullback. This is what I do. All right. So he was like, "Yo, we're just gonna start you at flanker, and then you just go get the guy with the ball." And I was like, "That's all I need to know. I don't know anything about being able to pass this ball."
Playing flanker on offense, it was like a second because I'm a running back. I've been a running back since 7th grade.
You see the holes. All you're looking at is just the holes.
Like, bro, like the transition for me was easy athletically, but IQ-wise, I suck. Listen, my Reds teammates are gonna be mad at me if I didn't tell this story, okay? My first game ever, okay? Listen, I'm gonna be honest, my first game ever. I was nervous. I'm like, okay. They said, Brandon, you do this. I knew, like, I read YouTube clips. I did this, did that. I'm like, okay. I think I got it. So I run 80 yards. Like, my first time, I run 80 yards. I ran back of the trial. I ran back out of the trial. I ain't touch it down.
Bruh, this is football, and there's too much football. You out here trying to get to the stands that don't even exist at the back end.
Say, man, I was like, the bad thing the second time went 60 yards. I had the audacity to high step into the try line, but I went past it again. Two times in a row. Listen, I'm playing rugby about 3.5 of 4 years. My teammates say I would never, ever let me live that down to this day. I ran out the try line twice in a row in the same game.
Yes. Nobody chasing you. Like if you go 60, 80, you know the next person ain't that far behind, is not that close behind you. So you had time. That's the sad part. You got time to be able to get your head back together and put it. The first time, okay, we got you. But the second, yo, and did you get carded for high stepping? Because you gotta.
Listen. I'll be honest. A lot of my inner African American was coming out. I just go I did a lot of stuff I shouldn't have did. They were like, Brandon, don't do that. Even my black teammates that been playing for years. Hey, bro, you can't do that, bro. I'm like, oh, for real? Like the one time a dude in the ruck, getting the ball in the ruck, he choked me. I'm like, I got you. He was 3 times my size, so he came in the middle when I played flanker.
Right.
He came in the middle. I went up. I picked him up. And just boom.
Oh my!
My homeboy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "No, I'm getting my revenge." I got carded, but he only gave me a yellow, not red.
You know what the sad part? It's one of those situations because if you're the teammates, you're at one part. You're like, "Dang, this dude's good. Yo, I'm glad that we have him." But God, dog, man, we got to get him in control. It's too much, yo.
Say, there's so many stories I can't even say on there. That rugby related. They like, Brandon, what is wrong with you? Because, my homeboy told the whole team when I came, listen, Brandon's coming. He'll give you 100%, but he's just a little off and different, which I am. I can't. Listen, even Olivia, Olivia ODB.
Yeah.
You know, Olivia. That's my homegirl right there.
Come on.
Yeah. So that's the homie right there. She was like, Brandon, you're off. I respect you. But you're off. Very much so. Because we have an all-black rugby chat. You know what I mean? So you got Caroline on there. You got my boy Robert on there. You got my boy Courtney Harris. He's on Dallas Red. Hey, you know what I mean? We got multiple people on the team. It just shocked me and blew my mind during quarantine. Tito, you know Tito?
Of course, Rodriguez.
Yeah. Tito. Dreads.
Yeah. He's in New Orleans now.
Yes, he is. So he's closer to me. And he put me on this group because he was he saw me how I was acting crazy on rugby. He like, man, they put me. I never knew this. I'm like, bro, I've never seen so many black people play rugby. It brought a little bit of tear in my eye, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Thing to watch. It's one of the favorite things. Whenever we do the HBC Rugby Classic each year, it's especially even this last year where we had but this is the most that I think I've invited at one time. And so you're looking at 150, 200 just black rugby players across the board just playing, and it's hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, our youth kids, our youth rugby team, are you rugby?
Exactly. Like,
yeah, we won your HBCU Classic. Which I'm very proud of.
Look, Basilio's my guy. Look, I was here for it. Like, this is what these are the rivalries I come for. All right. You know what that made it seem? Now you know what happened there. Now MICR and Dallas got to go again. That means you got to come back to the HBCU Rugby Classic. You got to see what's gonna happen again. Yo, bring the rival. Look, this is what happens every year. So, like, check this out. So the first year it was just the HBCU. So it was Prairie View, A&M, and Morehouse, right? Prairie View, A&M came in, bop, took out Morehouse. Nothing, all right? Morehouse, the next year, 2019. Yo, this was game time, all right? Yo, now, what did they do? 2019, bop. Morehouse comes in, puts it up on Prairie View A&M. What do we got now? 2 blowouts, 1-1 on each team. Now we got a rivalry. You got to come back. This past year, it was a little bit iffy. COVID's been all messing everything up. But whenever we get the Morehouse, Prairie View, A&M, and now hopefully be able to bring in Howard, hopefully North Carolina, A&T.
Grambling. I heard Gramblin's trying to get a rugby team going.
If they can get, I know the Shreveport guys have talked to me a lot about doing it, and we've been trying to get it even here down at Southern. And now that we got a coach, shout out to the homie TC. But like she's now enrolled at Southern, so she's looking to be able to coach, and that's all we've been looking for, like a lightning rod, somebody to be able to just grab that coaching and be able to take it over. But yeah, no, like all we do is it just sets the rivalry of everything. So as long as teams come and then they win, and then somebody underdog and wins again, yo, this is what we want. So whenever it comes to like Southern and Grambling, if we can get them here, because Louisiana needs them badly, and it makes it a lot better to have a home team for the HBCU Rugby Classic as well, and be able to expand it more and more and more. Like, there's legitimate plans that I have to the development of this and so many a few other events that I want to put together for this very thing. This is the part of rugby that I love. It's the development that can be had within it, but there's so much familiarity. All it is just kind of like, you're not reinventing the wheel, you're just adding a little bit more elements into it to make it a better wheel. You feel me?
Yeah, my cousin, I know my uncle, right? My uncle's a really old school.
Yeah.
And he came in, my Uncle Leon, he came out to my first one of my rugby games last year.
Right.
Well, yeah, basically last year, because we could play again. Texas, we know we're crazy.
All right, we flagrancy, all right? It might not be the Florida-esque, but yo, there's flagrancy.
Hey, man, I think we sit right up there with Florida, to be honest with you, with craziness. We don't care.
Y'all just not shouting it as loudly. That's the key difference. Y'all don't have the Florida crazy that's publicized, all right? That Texas crazy exists, but it's not as publicized as that Florida crazy.
So you in Louisiana? You live in Louisiana?
I live in Louisiana. But I used to live in Florida. So I went to school out in Florida in Tampa. And then I used to do door-to-door sales in the middle of Florida.
Oh my God, I did door-to-door sales.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Wait. What did you used to sell?
Oh man. What's that thing up on top? The drain pipes?
Word?
The gutters.
The gutters.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to make so many sales pitches, but like I just got tired of it because every time we went to an all-white neighborhood, we all got called the cops on. And we had a permit to be there. And we still got kicked out.
It's the number one reason why I have no love for Naples, Florida. Naples, Florida, and Gainesville's neighborhood were the two places that I've had the cops called on me so many times. I didn't even know that cops snuck on you with their lights off, watching you for like blocks before they jumped you. Like, that was wildness to me. On sale, I'm like, bro, we playing a different game out here in these here areas. All right, this is, and then you out here being like, yo, we just selling. For us, it was selling coupons. It was like these 2-for-1 like packets of coupons, or that were either like tickets or Pizza Hut or whatever, and they all null and voided themselves in some way, shape, or form. But it was just like, yo, it wear you out. It wear you out in a different way.
Damn. Oh man, yeah. I've done door-to-door sale. I was a car salesman. I can actually say though, like my favorite job to this day Like I used to be a sales advisor at Costco's. You know, I used to do samples. So I used to make up stuff off the top of my head. Like anything I was selling that day, anything they tried, I'm like, how you doing, ma'am? Try it, like it, buy it, don't deny it, take it home, supply it. You know what I mean? That's what, or I'm like, ma'am, would you like to try a piece of heaven? I made out the Garden of Eden myself. You know what I mean? Would you like to savor the flavor? It'll change your behavior, but do me a favor and buy it today. You know what I mean? That sort of when I eat it. I'm like, yes, embrace the taste. It tastes so good to keep a smile on your face.
This is marketing, people. This is marketing, people. Let it fly, Brandon. Let it fly, Brandon.
Don't get me started, dog. Don't get me started. I'm feeling good. Hey, put this on BuyPod. They were like, wait a minute. Gift interviewed this fool? The dude that
this is what happens when you get to do your own thing, all right? We bring on whoever, all right? We bring whoever. Keep bringing this energy.
I got that certain energy. Hopefully you call me back for another one. I'm ready to listen. I get up at 5 o'clock every day. So anytime you want to get on it, I'm down. Okay? You teach me how you do this so I can watch you do it so I can get better. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm be honest with you. I'm learning on the job. All right. There's no lessons. All we're doing is just we just BSing our way through. All right. This is how we do.
I put it like this: if you get a lot of views on this, you gotta bring me back. That's all I'm saying. If you get the most views on it, I can be a partial partner. All right.
Bet. Got you. I got you, brother. I got you. So all right. So tell me this. All right. So you're getting into rugby, dumping people, running over people, and not getting into the running past the try zone, forgetting that you got to actually, try to touch it down a little bit. So for you, as you continue going with it, what was the moment, and if you've had it, because you said you've been playing for 3-4 years so far, right? So what was the moment that you started to feel like, man, this is the sport for me?
When I saw that you could travel and, you don't have to pay that much money to travel.
Right.
Then on top of that, they got nationals and stuff like that. And then the MLR came. Then you could probably play overseas. And, at the time, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try again, man. Because, I'm a competitive person.
Right.
My IQ is not there yet. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I've learned a lot. But overall, I still got to get my IQ down.
What's the part that you have the hardest? What's the part that you have the most difficulty with, or that you're learning your weakness on it?
I gotta learn how to pass with my right hand. I can go with my left. I'm all good with my left. On my right, that don't end well. Or sometimes I do bad decision making. Like sometimes I just throw it up there. Like if I'm getting tackled out, I just throw it up there. Or or positioning with defense.
Yeah.
Well, defense, I finally got that down. But just positioning. Like not going, I know another guy behind me. I don't need to go after a guy. My guy get beat. I don't need to go in that lane because my man's going to be wide open right here. I got to know I got somebody behind me, being like a free safety that got my back. I got trust. You know what I mean?
Back.
So that's what I'm still learning on. And I just got to, and cardio. Cardio is.
That's not even something. That's something that you just work on. It has to be done. Like you're just like, okay, how much can I run in the game? Because it almost doesn't always feel like running outside does enough to be able to get you ready. You feel me?
Yeah. Honestly, I love playing wing when I don't want to feel like running the line. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I'm mostly a wing. I can actually, but I know how to play flanker. I love playing flanker, but when I say, hey, I'm getting tired, I got one other humble like, put me on wing. Well, let's switch. And we switch. And he play flanker. I'm like, all right, let me get my breather in. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting on the edge like this.
Just chilling. Yo, the pass gonna get here yet? No. We good.
I'd be like, oh wait. Okay. They going back that way. Let me catch my breath.
Let me chill. Yo, guys, don't let them get on don't let them get on offense. I'm not ready to go into defense yet. Yo. Let me chill. Keep it in the middle.
Yeah, like, man, I ain't gonna lie, like, that bag in the sun, I'm like, ooh, I like that. I'm physical. I'll do it. But when it's cold,
it's the worst.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I'll be on the wing all day. I don't do cold. I'm a Southern black man from the South. We don't do cold.
No.
See, if it's 51, 50 degrees, I'm cold.
Nope. Yeah, I tell people, look, the moment that it gets below 65, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, we out. I'm out.
I swear to God, I'll never get in 2019. I will never forget this day. We played a game. It was cold. It was raining. It was only 2 degrees. I swear to God.
No,
and God, my witness. I wanted to quit so bad that day, but I'm like, I can't be no punk. But I kid you not, right when we got done with the game, I went straight to my car and everything heated up. And when I tell you my hands were hurting,
bro, but that's real. No, that's right. Look, we did this in Atlanta, and what made it even worse, I remember this was 2010, 2011, right? So we go out to Atlanta. We're playing, I think, Atlanta Old White, which is a team that I've come to appreciate now, but loathe basically my entire organized playing career, right? We going out. It starts snowing. So you get that little icy frost on the ground.
Time out. It was snowing in Atlanta?
In Atlanta! Yes! This was wild. This was hell for me.
Yeah,
right?
that was hell that just froze over. That was with that.
Exactly. And then to add to it, they had this Fijian guy who was just an absolute nicest dude in the world. But if you know Fijians, like if you play against a Fijian, it's just kind of like just
another level. Like honestly, like Samoan, Tongans, Samoan, Tongan, Fijians, they like how black people dominate basketball and football. They like that rugby. That's their sport.
Facts. And so, like, we had to play against him. And, of course, he's at center, and I'm flanker. And I'm just like, when you hit, it's one thing to hit whenever it's warm. At least, you feel like the body's all right. But cold hit, I can't feel my hands, and I have to feel my shoulders, and I can't feel my shoulders. No, man.
That's not a good look. I told God, you hate me. I told him that day. I'm like, you hate me. That's what you want to do. I'm like, you got me out here like all my friends like, come on, Brandon, come on, man. It's totally fine. Quit being a punk. Just move around. I'm like, I'm moving around. I'm still cold.
Right. There's not enough moving around. I don't know why people say that. Like my kinetic energy does not provide enough warmth to make this worthy. All right. It doesn't work. Especially, you know why? And I realize, especially here in the South, because we got all this humidity that's going around, so that cold air just gets frozen, and it just becomes frozen water around the air, and you're just drowning at that point.
Yeah, but we really don't even have a whole 4 seasons here in the South anyway.
We really don't.
Yeah, it mostly be cold a little bit, get right back warm in the wintertime. Like, I remember last year, it was 100 degrees in the middle of the wintertime. I will never forget that.
Right.
100 degrees in the wintertime.
Then you guys had to freeze.
Say, man, I like the people in the All Black Rugby group still give me so much crap because I always talk about Texas, this Texas. You see my posts a lot. I am a full-hearted Texan to the day I die.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
I love my state. Like, if anybody would say, oh, he's from Texas, that boy good. That boy good. You know what I mean? Wait a minute, Texas. Hey, that's that. Look, listen. If you tell me this honestly, in any other true Texas, we feel like, you know what, we can not be Americans, we can be Texans, have our own country. Straight up.
Yeah, you guys are crazy like that. That's what I said. It's a crazy, but it doesn't have the public wildness that Florida does, but it's there. It's all there. When half your state is a desert and you guys still have people living in it, that tells you the crazy that's there. Let alone East Texas. That congregates a whole other level of crazy.
That's why I play ball at. That's why I play college ball out that way. That's my first time to the day. That's the first time I've ever seen the KKK. Bar none.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed until I went to college.
Like if you feel it like a story until you're like, oh, you guys are like legit. You guys like hate. Like, yo, this is wow. But that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I remember going to El Paso, and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this isn't just stories? I thought this was just stuff that movies made up. No, you guys are real with it. Oh, and I saw real tumbleweed. I'm like, no, I can't. I was like, no, you guys playing too much out here.
What are you doing? I see that in Dallas.
Bro, yeah, that's two Texans. That's two Texans. Like, let me get back to Louisiana. All right, we got our ramen, but
y'all go back to the swamps.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna deal with my Gators. I'm not gonna deal with tumbleweed. That's my line.
yeah. My cousin, he from Lake Providence. At Lake Providence, and he's not as hot, y'all. He's just sticky. That's it.
That's why the cold be cold out here, because it's the stickiness of that humidity. Okay, let's put it like this: when you sweat and you get punished by your sweat, you in humidity, right? Like whenever it's a negative for you to sweat. When it gets cold, so it drops to like 60. That's why that 60 degree, or God forbid, when it dropped to 30 degrees, and it was that, you may as well call it negative 10. Just epic. Call it negative 10. Just kill me at that point. Don't actually kill me, God. Amen.
Yeah.
But
yeah, rugby it showed me a lot, honestly. Like honestly, again, my first year playing rugby, I mean, we started playing sevens.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine named Matt Dawson, he white guy, he put all this. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? He like all over, he like sunscreen, all over. Brandy, you want to try something? I'm like, bro, what is that? He said sunscreen. Bro, I've never used sunscreen since I was 8 years old. I used it one time in life. I've never used sunscreen. He like, black people get skin cancer. Like, that is true. But every time I try to put sunscreen on, my skin breaks out.
Right.
That's why I don't do it.
You're covering pores. You're not protecting this again. You're just covering pores at that point.
Yeah. He was like, are you sure? Like, I understand you have melanin and everything. I understand that. But I'm telling you, I'm like, bro, I haven't seen then. I play out 110 degree heat in football, red track in it, all that. I'm good. I don't need any sunscreen. I'm good.
No, but it's real though. Like sevens during the seventh season. So for you, like I know sevens has always been actually one that I have a mixed feeling with it, because even though you're a flanker, you're dealing with all the sides. So I love the element and the sociability and the competition. But for me, I never got a chance to have that high level of competition, just because Baton Rouge wasn't really looking for that during sevens. And then when I started, it wasn't really sevens wasn't important. It was practice. It was basically just warm up. So for you, when did you get introduced into rugby culture? Because I feel like there's a difference between what you do in the game versus what happens in culture. The game, I think, is easier to acclimate, especially from football.
No,
but
the culture
is a different game.
I honestly fell in love with rugby, honestly, during sevens when I went to Bloodfest.
Nice.
Bloodfest, and when I never seen so many people in the stands. And my team, I was playing D2 or D3 at the time.
Right.
And, I hadn't played D1 yet. I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to get up there. But I got to go to more practices and stuff like that, and the IQ. And I get on all my teammates' nerves. They know me being loud and obnoxious. But I'll be that. I will be that weird, loud, obnoxious guy. Everybody got one on their team. Let me be it. I'm good at it. But honestly, Bloodfest and sevens, and like our Division I team played in the finals. And when you got a team from all over the world coming to that would trip me out. It blew my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, you got Canadians here? Then we played the French international team in the championship, and it was just, they flew down here for it. I'm like, this is crazy. The atmosphere was beautiful out there in Round Rock in Austin, where they have Bloodfest at. It's a whole complex for rugby down there. It is beauty. You been there?
Yeah. I went there 2019.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, that's when we went we won the championship.
I remember. Vaguely.
Yeah,
I was watching more of the U23s because I was there with Stars. I was recording games.
I remember Stars. I totally remember. Like, yeah. Then the culture was beautiful. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I love it. I love rugby. And I can tell my mom, I'm 31 years old, and she was telling me, she was trying to make me not to play rugby. Like, you ain't gonna do it. I'm like, I got my own place.
Right.
I got my own job. I pay my own bills.
I'm gonna play this game.
I'm 31. My mom still telling me what to do.
Oh no, she forever will. Like it's forever stuck. I don't know how anybody can ever be like, yo, I'm at age, I can't listen to my parents no more. I was like, nah. You got.
I'm 31, but you know what I mean. I scream at my mama when she not around. She not around, I would scream at her and tell her what I feel. But in her face, I'll be quiet.
Yo, man, that's how exactly. So tell me something. You said that you did arena football for a little bit before you had made your cut, right? So from your experience with doing something like arena football to what you got in rugby, what was the biggest change that you were able to take from it, and what is one of the better comparisons that you had between the two that made you be like, okay,
comparison, and basically, football was formed from rugby. Everybody knows. So again, like I said, the athletic transition was easy.
Right.
It was just the IQ. I'm still learning so much, like little things here and there. I'm like, bro, I didn't even know that. Like, there's so much knowledge you have to soak up with rugby. And like, I've got a friend that he said he's been playing rugby for 8-9 years, and he still learns something new.
Absolutely. Like, I think it makes sense as to why they always say that it's good to start them young, because there's so much nuance in chess playing that you do that you don't realize. Because like at the surface level, you're just like, okay, right. You set your guys up, people go out wide, pass it, look for the hole, boom. But then whenever you go into the nuance of it, you're just like, oh no, the why you're setting up this pass is to open it up for 3 passes down the line to draw people in and be able to set that phase level up. And it's like, oh, the nuance and the timing and all that.
Yeah, basically, especially when you go up in levels.
Yeah.
Like when I've been up in levels, I've seen the D1 players play. I see MLR player play. It's like a physical game of chess. To be honest with you, it's a physical game of chess. That's all I can say with that one, because it's like the IQ, you gotta be like this. Especially when you play MLR. I watched the Houston SaberCats, and when they play the Seattle, wherever they are,
right?
Yeah,
you said the Seattle wherever they are. As you say, Seattle,
yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, but then it's just like they were kicking ball, doing trick play. I'm like, bro, this is nice.
And this is way it's like, yo, how people play into the rules. Like even the kicking got purpose. It's not even just like, yo, we kicking to just try and get it down the field, but it's like we kicking, but we know that only one person can go. The person who kicked has to be able to be the first one there. But at the same time, yo, it sets up everybody else along the line and tires out the defense or offense having to come back to wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I like to go chase the ball. When they say Brandon go chase, because I'm mostly sometimes the fastest.
You were a punt returner at some point, weren't you?
Yeah, I play punt return, kick return.
That's all it is. That's all it is in a nutshell.
I'm like I like kickoff. It's so easy. It's so easy for me. Cause like I'm not getting blocked. And then on top of that, I'll go jump over, like they'll say, Brandon, go get that ball, and then when I have to kick it out into the right corner by a try line, I'll jump over the new catches and score. I let him catch it, just light him up. Like when he hit the ground, I'm right there. I'm like, it's a sprinter's dream, honestly, because I ran 100 meters.
Right.
It's like again, speed wise, it's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, kickoff is so easy for me. Or they made him do a jump ball. I ain't gonna lie. One guy just told me, he looked at me and I'm gonna do a jump ball. So when I jumped there, he said, "I'm not jumping with you." I ain't you know what I mean? He wasn't being a dick. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. He wasn't
editing over here. We over here.
I thought you were kid friendly, so I was trying to be. You know what I mean?
We are here to corrupt the children early, all right? We bring them into the fold nice and early. Look, kid.
After the game, he's like, bro, I knew you were going to jump higher than me. Listen, I play basketball, but I know my limits. And I just looked at your body and your calf muscles. There's no way in hell I'm going to jump with you, okay? For genealogical reasons. You know what I mean? I'm like, you got fair point. I can't even get mad at him off that after he told me that after the game. Because like when I jumped, he like, I'm not jumping with you. He said that right while I was jumping. I'm like, I'm not jumping with you. Why would I do that?
Why am I getting that like Plies? I'm not. Why are you mad? I'm not arguing with you.
Who
are you?
Exactly.
Yo, that's facts. Yo, I love that. No, but it's true. Like, yo, that's whatever it comes in, and that's why I said it's those components that you understand already. But that's why I said, like, whenever you come to the atmosphere of what you did with arena football, because a lot of people don't even get to that level. And were you arena 1, arena 2, 8-2-8-1?
Oh, that was I was getting paid for it in Mexico.
So, oh shoot, so you even overseas at that as well too? Overseas,
yeah,
international.
I hurt and slightly tore my LCL, but that was I was only in crutch for like what 4 or 5 days. That wasn't even a real injury. I jumped back like that, but like I said, Achilles, man, it's weird. Like
different game,
but even right, huh?
No, I was gonna say, but in terms of the environment, in terms of what you guys were doing as a team, everything like that, like how have you felt it in comparison to what you've experienced now with rugby?
I feel like in rugby, more people got your back. You know what I mean? No matter what demographic you are, where you come from, you can be poor as all get out, but then you can be a guy that working at McDonald's and your teammate, you're good friends with the CEO of a company. That's how crazy rugby is. And you can come together and like I'm not even gonna lie. So I have a ritual on the Dallas Reds. Any new white European guy to come from overseas, I take them to black clubs. Black
Break them in.
Hey, I've done that more than occasions. I'm not gonna say any names because they got girlfriends now. But hey, you know who you are.
Look, welcome to Dallas. All right, let me show you real Dallas.
Like I had a friend, he was from France, and I took him out one time. I took him to all black club. He usually goes to other clubs, you know what I mean? But I'm like, nah, I'm taking you to the raunchy club, you know what I mean? That I know people, you'll be safe. But you know what I mean?
But if you left your own devices, if you say the wrong thing, you're gonna get it's gonna get rowdy.
It was crazy. He was French, so he was like, they're like, oh girl, look how he talking.
Yeah, that's always what it is.
Like, how are you doing, Keisha? You know, girl, I'll never get that when the girl was twerking, like, brother, look how she doing. I was like, that. It goes left cheek, right cheek. Like, I kid you not. It was funny. Everything, like his face was like this. Say, man, my boy, he won that night. That's all I will say. My boy won that night.
Look, this is why I always tell people, I was like, yo, this is the era now of what we call culture rugby. Everything prior to 2020 was people bringing culture and then try and put it into the prism of rugby to create rugby culture. Now we're bringing rugby and it pushes out culture from that point on. We adding it and infusing into it because I think it makes such more of an element of not just uniqueness, but of being able to create your own variation, especially an Americanized version of what rugby is that has this amalgamation of everything. So, like in what you're doing, like you're bringing people through rugby into the black culture, into these black spots that they never would have naturally gone into organically, and that's what it is. Like when you go overseas, you want to be able to be like, yo, take me to your best spot here. Yo, let me feel the culture at its best. And we have the same familiarity because we play rugby, but now you're going to give me the chance to be able to learn more about what it is so I can take it in and make it like a richer experience.
I love being cultured anyway because like my mom, I grew up with my mom. She had multiple people go through the house that are different cultures.
Yeah.
So I can actually say, like, when I went to college, I got super cultured there because my ex-fiance was from India, and my roommate was from Germany. On the football team with you from Germany.
Nice.
He's the dude that got my homeboy from Germany. I still talk to him to this day. He's the one that got me on J. Cole, honestly. When I heard Sideline Story, yeah, in 2009. When I heard Sideline Story, I was hooked ever since.
Ooh, that's awesome. He came 4,000 miles to tell you about the thing that you could have learned just literally just down the road.
Exactly. He got me on Project Pat. He got me on. Well, I listened to UGK from Texas, but all he listened to was J. Cole, Project Pat, 8 Ball, MJT. Like the dude from Germany.
Yo, this is how you know. This is how you know the hip hop definitely sells. All right, yo.
Very much so. It's the biggest genre in the world. It's the biggest music genre in the world. It finally overtook pop.
No, it wasn't even pop that it was the competitor. It was actually country that was the biggest.
Really?
Yeah, country was number one for the longest. That has the deepest, largest fan base until hip hop came in, and that's why, like, even now, and this is a whole other subject, and we can talk about this in another one. But when it comes to the subcategorization of hip hop at this point, because you have to have it, and if you don't have it, it's what hurts the actual genre itself, because people try and compare it against things that are not of it. So you got like your goth hip hop, you got your rock hip hop, you got your classic hip hop, you got traditional hip hop. Like you got your R&B hip hop. Like there's subcategories to this piece that still works within this umbrella.
Hey, right now, tomorrow, I'm going to a Brad Paisley concert. I love country.
Dude, look, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm gonna be forward with you. Like I hated country until they started popifying it, and then I was like, yo, you made it a little bit more commendable. And then whenever you got what is his name? Darius Rucker. When Darius Rucker started going in, and I was like, all right, man. Oh, man, let me get my Darius Rucker, get my South Carolina Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm like, yo, let's go, because I hated Cowboy Troy. Cowboy Troy made the hell out of me. But Darius got me. I was like, okay, I can enter into this. And then I ended up going Florida, Alabama line, and then dealing with
you know who got me on it? I was a real young kid. It was Garth Brooks and George Strait. I became a George Strait fan when I heard the song when I was 8 years old. You can find me somewhere down in Texas by George Strait. I was sold.
Garth Brooks. See, that's it. Garth Brooks almost got me with Calling Baton Rouge because they play that every freaking. I've been listening to that song since I was in high school. They play that in every club at the end of every dance, at the end of every LSU game, at the like Calling Baton Rouge.
Wait, you want a Thunder Road type of guy? I was Thunder Road. Thunder Road.
Hold on, Dave. Look, it worked, but you call him back. It's hometown. Well, that's where I'm at. So we recognize him for the spot. You know, so the pride goes in, but then it was just like you escalating too much. Like Garth, you're starting to annoy me like this. Like it's just too much. I'm getting too much Garth.
Yeah, well, Garth Brooks went dark when he went through this weird stage.
Oh yeah, whatever you turn into.
I don't. Yeah, he killed that character real quick. Cause that was. I don't even look at. That's like Michael Jordan playing for the coming out retiring playing for the Wizards. We ain't gonna talk about that, Lexa. We ain't gonna talk about that. That never happened.
That was an amalgamation time. Like I literally, I was like, I can't tell if this was a joke or if you're serious. But whenever Chris Crocker made a whole album, and I was like, okay, yeah, all right.
No, all right, my boy forever gonna be Chris Stapleton though. Chris Stapleton's
a legend. Like I'm not even gonna front, but that's what I'm talking about. Like it's people like him that did the he did the whiskey. Who is it, man? You're gonna make me look through my phone. I gotta.
Jason Aldean. Dirt Anthem.
No. That one is good, but not that one. It was gonna be. Hold on. Let me get this. Let me get this because I can't. I'm not going to be able to continue this until I get this figured out. Right? I need to get this name out of my head.
Let me find out. You probably related to me because you got the same. You kind of think like me and low key, and it's creepy.
Look, great minds. All right, this is why we all under the guise of rugby. All right, what it brings together, the familiarity. You know, but so I'll put it like this. So I think actually my earliest one that I liked about that was country was Rascal Flatts because that's R&B country. R&B country.
Yeah, they have a big black following. Them and Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton has a huge black following. When I heard Chris Stapleton, I'm like, this black guy. But when I saw him, I'm like, what?
Right. That was exactly it. And then the other person who started getting me in was Luke Bryan. And whenever I saw him in New Year's.
Come on, man. That dude, man, I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna sound weird, but that dude, when he sings and he smiles, it's like a smile from God himself. I'm like, man, God spends a little bit of him in there. It's just like, you know what? Let me bless these people with this great song of his.
Hallelujah. Take this voice, young man, and send us out. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Bro, that's what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I once I started getting into that, I'm like, yo, I had this mood. Actually, it was even 2014. People don't know this. Not that they ever really cared. But whenever the Chicago All Blacks were in town, and I went to Chicago to cover that game, I had to walk around Chicago to go to the practices because I was broke as I don't know what. Boy, when I tell you I was playing country the entire time, out here dancing in these Chicago streets, walking from one practice field to the next, walking like 3-4 miles, and I'm just like, yo, just take me away, and you did the job. So I'm always forever forgiven for that. I'm like, yo, country found its place for me. Yeah. And I didn't ever think it was ever going to happen like that.
I'm from Texas, so country is going to grow on me anywhere I go.
Again, this is the, like, there's football was the first vaccine in the womb, and then like country music like is the next one. That was like, is it going to hit or not? But you're going to be in your system. Like if it hits, it's going to activate hard. If it doesn't, it's going to just tingle. There's going to be moments where you're just like, this is going to hit right, but I don't know.
I have a question for you that I've always been asking people. Do you think the MLR will ever make six figures regularly, probably next 20, 30 years, if they're still around? Do you think MLR is going to be even relevant in next 10 years?
So if it, I'll be a perfect line. In the first year, I wasn't sure. I think the moment that they made the MLR draft, and they did that out last year, I thought that was the first time when I was like, you guys are actually trying to be an entertainment company, which is legitimate. That's what sustains them. So to answer your question, will they be a six-figure? I actually think that within 15 years, you'll see them at a six-figure regular income. But you also got to understand, if they get to the point where they're six-figure income, and let's say all things stand the same, the rest of the rugby leagues out there aren't putting out that much. Like maybe the only one was what's formerly known as the Pro 14. I think they call them the Rugby something champions now that they got bought over by Americans. But rugby players,
Super Rugby. I thought it was Super Rugby overseas.
Super Rugby is based in New Zealand, Australia, and formerly South Africa area. And they weren't making that much. They were barely doing 5 figures. So rugby as a professional sport has not been a very monumentally financially beneficial thing outside of France, and then a little bit in Japan.
I'm about to say Japan.
Japan's a different level. That's the team that I claim as my rugby team now is Tokyo Gaijin. Getting to see Japanese rugby up front and how they function, I understand why it's been able to thrive. But with them, it's professional rugby is more like the company softball team that they just get paid. So that concept whenever they you bring in ringers. Well, everybody's a ringer for the rugby teams, for the professional teams, and companies pay them. So Toyota and Samsung are going to pay it out, but those are anomalies for the most part. Like in England, in South Africa, in New Zealand, Australia, they're not paying very much. So if MLR gets to that, and I expect them to, because the American business model is much more sufficient to profit than the European-based versions. I do see it, but it's going to really depend on if they sell their stars and if they really, really actually decide to truly go full entertainment. I gave a shout out again to my guy Ryan Ginty, because he was a guy who's doing the pregame and halftime show for MLR. And he brought an entertainment value that we've been talking about for years, but he was able to do that. So if they keep on that path, I do think
they should bring in how NFL films are, have an MLR films.
Yeah,
I feel like that'll bring more nuances to the league.
Yeah,
honestly, NFL films.
It was
made
the best
the NFL. Honestly, hands down.
When I tell you that, okay, I'll give you another story, all right? So initially, I was born in Pennsylvania, lived in Iowa, then came down to Louisiana. Louisiana is when I started really caring about football. But it was because my coach told me to start watching the NFL, and I started looking at NFL.com. And whenever you see Steve Sable and all those movies,
bruh, it's legendary.
Bro, it made me have a different love for it. Like, it changed my love for football because I was able to get history and story and then connect in with everything else. So
that's
yeah,
what the MLR needs to do, honestly. If they bring entertainment value and like theatrical feature like film into it, I promise you it'll sell more.
I'll say that not even just for MLR. I'm going to say rugby as a whole across the board. It requires, like, rugby has had an issue with being a very humble sport because of the nature of Brits and the humbleness of the South Pacific. But in the US, it doesn't work that way. We need the extra. We need the celebritization. We need to have the flash. And that's what sells it a lot. And once we do it here, it ends up trickling into other places, whether people want to believe it.
When everybody follows America, honestly, everybody follows American entertainment.
It does.
Everybody around the world, they see what America do. Okay, we're going to try to do that too.
Exactly. Because we commercialize in a different way. Like it's a consumer nation, but it's a consumer nation that works because it sells truly entertainment in probably the most, not even probably, in the most efficient way. So in rugby, and this is why I do the things that I do. This is why we have these people, and I'm so happy about seeing this industrialized ecosystem kind of starting to build within rugby lately, where we get a little entertainment, we get the teams, we get the culture variation, we get the behind the scenes. It's coming together. It's just that there hasn't been a lot of what they call stakeholders to put in. So we've all been trying to find the money, but we're about to break through because shit, we don't have a choice.
And then on top of that, like, I was thinking about, I was talking to some of my friends and they were like, bro, why don't you do, the friends I grew up with, they always come to my games. Yeah. And they're cool with the rugby team. They say, bro, why don't we do a skit about how hood dudes play rugby when you bring a hood dude in rugby? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think it'll be fun. I think that's a pretty good idea.
No, I don't think. I know for a fact it would work. It would be hilarious. It's parts of it that you have to have. That's where we talk about the culture and association where people can actually relate into the sport, because otherwise people always look at it as the foreign sport whenever it's like, no, this is a networking. This is your bridging sport. Like, you didn't even realize that you needed rugby because we haven't shown you how to connect over to it. So yeah, again, this is why it goes back. If we're doing the reels, or you're doing these podcasts, we're doing these documentaries, shit like that. So get your guys to do it, man. We need more. There's so much space in it. We'll find the money if it needs to get to that point. But F it, man, get it started. God,
because like my friend of mine, like I ain't gonna lie, I feel like rugby got sparked because when ESPN started doing Perry Baker highlights and he's been on the top 10 and stuff like that. That was a lot of my friends when they like rugby. You talking about that dude that jumped over that dude or shook that Fijian dude? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that was still something that the sickest move I seen, dude. I watched that live. Dude, he did that. That was nasty. And the Fijian dude was pretty fast. He was like world renowned, and or at that time when Perry Baker went to go track that dude down, like he walked him down.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's those things. Those are what has to be hit. That's where you start to get it. That's why I said, like, it goes into, you have to celebritize these guys. You got to celebritize them in it. Like, for me, if I'm the MLR, you just finished the season, right? You got a whole winter. At this point, you need to find your 3 to 4 best and most personable players and send them on a media tour around the country. Any podcast, any freaking national show, everything. If you got to pay them extra to do that, that is your marketing to move forward, because they
USA Rugby's not like, they do so bad, man.
This is where you got to understand, and this is where I'll do the pullback. Okay. USA Rugby's job is not to do that. Like, even in the elite stuff, That's not where they're supposed to be. Their job is to put together the team for international and create a structure for the rest of the country. Everything else should be done privately. That should be private. So when it comes to the celebrities, like MLR is private, not USA. Like it's, they have to pay dues to USA Rugby, but they're private. They need to send their own guys. You got investors. When it comes to Perry Baker and Carlin Isle, the Nia Cappers, Christy Kirsch, the Jordan Mateus's, all the people that play at the international level, to some extent, USA Rugby needs to provide the gateway for them, but there needs to be the other private entity that pushes them. So, like, say whatever they do with this Premier Sevens, these guys need to parade these players around and just sell. You gotta sell, because the only reason people don't know us is because nobody hears about it. And then when you hear about it, like whenever you heard about rugby, how many times did you start seeing rugby people pop up everywhere? Yo, I used to play rugby. I know a rugby guy. I know this rugby person.
Say, you know how many times? Yeah, I got told. I ain't gonna lie. In the black community with rugby, it's a different dynamic. Because honestly, I've been told you're weird. Why are you playing that white person sport? Or like, wait a minute, you ain't getting paid for it, so you just letting fools just hit you? I'm like, you don't say nothing with semi-pro dudes, semi-pro football, they ain't getting paid for it. And honestly, I feel like the USA Rugby, I feel like rugby's more organized than semi-pro football. And you want to be honest with you?
True.
You got more people that are more reliable. More people going to have your back. Semi-pro football, everybody doing just a gateway or a stepping stone to get up on top of somebody. That's all it is.
Exactly.
I played semi-pro football. I would never play that again. That's the most unorganized, hoodest, craziest experience I've ever been through. Like, bro, I remember before a game, we were in the locker room. And, like, bro, I saw these dudes smoking weed and sniffing coke in their nose before the game.
The 1990 Cowboys.
Bro, I know we down, but goddamn, we ain't the 92 Cowboys. Yeah, we got some scouts out there coming to watch me play. For what? This is semi-pro.
Ain't nobody seen you.
Ain't nobody gonna see you. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Bro, no, that's real though, and that's why I'm saying, like, and look, I'm even taking one step further. I think you can even do more with rugby. That's why, like, so for me, like, MLR is great for credibility, and I'm gonna let you go in a little bit. But
it's great to stay up all night. I got all night.
We're gonna do a part 2 on this one, but I'm gonna let you. But like with rugby, with MLR, it creates a credibility stance, but you don't have to aim to be in the MLR. You can tour, and that can be a paid element. Like they do this with Tiger Rugby, like touring. So like you bring all-star teams together and go around the world. You go tour. You can do your all-stars within the country. You can go do your own team over. Like there's so many variations of how to be able to go play rugby and experience it.
I didn't even know that.
Dude, look, let me tell you this. There's one place that you absolutely need to go play rugby at, and this is in Southeast Asia. I'm going to tell you this because what you think is tournament here, no, that shit is light here. They give you a full event. I'm talking about cheerleader, dancer. Example, in Vietnam, all right, for the dues that we paid, we not only got our own charter bus that they provided for us, they gave us our own cheerleaders to be able to root for us, specifically our team, that were part of the Hooters girls. On top of that, we had our own tent that they hooked us up with all the drinks. After the game was done, they provided us a social that they had like a whole performance happening on the stage for the players, a light show, and all this, bro. This was in Vietnam. Like this is Saigon's 10s. So, and this happened even Bangkok, Manila 10s. Like it's a different world in Asia.
Listen, I would love to go to Asia because, mind you, I go to a predominantly Korean Baptist church. So I'm used to it. And, you know what I mean? And I've always wanted to go to Asia anyway.
It is,
you know what I mean?
Asia is by far one of the dopest places I've never felt so safe in my life. Never felt so safe in my life. It is
in Bangkok?
Oh my God, Bangkok is amazing. Bangkok was simple. Look, let me put this, okay? A lot of people are gonna try and disagree with this, but these are people who don't go overseas, or they go overseas angry, expecting to get American stuff. Being black in Asia was by far it was like being a celebrity. I've never had so many people want to take pictures with me, and two, so many people be so damn accommodating. They are so accommodating. I mean, dead ass strangers just randomly being like, "Yo, how can I help you? How can I help you? What's really good?"
That sounds like Texas.
Bro, it was amazing. It's like Texas without the guns.
Well, that's about to be up in flames on September 1st. Well, it's another story of another day for that one.
Bro. But yeah, like going overseas and being able to touch it's a different feeling of playing too. Because it's playing in the States is you playing amongst your people, right? But whenever you go overseas, you literally feel like you're playing the world. And it feels just dynamically different. It's just dynamically different. So that's why I go it's an aim. Go try and do that. Go do tour squads. Even if you're not getting paid, raise it up, go overseas to be able to go play, because you're gonna feel it's gonna make you love rugby to an extent that you've never met. And then on top of that, when we went there, to find out that there's nonprofit organizations that are rugby based that are helping these kids, and you're literally seeing them change culture, literally changing the culture of the land with the development of these kids, and they're rugby based organizations. Like it's a different game. This is a different sport.
I want to. Now you got me. I had no idea. Now you put me on game. Listen, I want to do that. I really want to do that. Like I want to be your podcast partner now.
Look.
Here. We got good stairs here. Come on, man. Yeah, you already know it. I think listen, I watched all your other podcasts. I don't think I had you laugh as hard as I made you laugh tonight. That's all your other guests. If I'm lying, tell me.
Bro, look. I've had some good laughs. This was some good laughs. This is some really good, because it's natural. That's why it's natural. That's what it's about, man. This has been, even the conversation is just chill. Like, it's good. It's fun. This is what we do. That's why I love. This is what we do. That's why you had that match in. So yes, this is one of the hardest I've been able to laugh during a podcast, and it just being just naturally going. And we still on subject while still being offside. This is rowdy. Yeah. This is Rowdy Cousins right here.
If I don't be on part 2, I'm gonna be. I will Facebook shame you. I will Facebook and BIPOC and Rugby, just because Rugby. Ain't none of Rugby and Church, but that's another story for another day. We ain't gonna talk about that, but still.
We're gonna make it happen. No worries. I have no problem on bringing back for part 2. I have no problem with being able to do this again. I have fun with this. And look, this is what we do. Maybe we even make it a 3-part, and we bring in another person, because we're trying to go higher and higher level. So we're trying to bring in more of these union presidents around the world, trying to be able to bring in more of these players, get a few more of these Olympians in here.
Yeah.
We gotta shout out
really
Shetta.
Yeah. Like Ben Torres, he's the youth director. He's the youth coach.
Yeah, I met him at the HBCU Rugby Classic.
Yeah, so it's just like Ben. I kind of like Ben wants to bring more of the inner city kids in, because he told me anybody can play rugby and not too much to play for. All you need is a ball on the field. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And like I saw I watched the game. Our youth kids, all them football players, right? they be on this high end rich private school, right? And a lot of them really just came literally from the football field and come to rugby, and they just dominate. And I'm like, bro, where you from? Oh, I'm from Dallas. You know what I mean? And I want more people of color to get into rugby and stop having a negative stereotype. Because I was that person that had a negative stereotype. I'm like, bro, black people don't play no rugby. That's a white people sport. But when I actually got to see more African, but African American, we're gonna be honest, this different. I want to see more African Americans.
I respect it.
Yeah.
That's why, to be honest with you, I utilize the term Black American on purpose, because I think it's a much more accurate depiction without it being an insult. Right? I don't.
And Africans, I see that a lot. You see a lot, but African American, they just have this mentality of, I'm not getting paid. oh, they ain't got no pads. Oh, it's a white person sport. I just jumped head first into it. I didn't know what I was doing. I said, I'm going to do it because who got me really into want to really play rugby, I saw people that looked like me. I saw Nia Tapper. I saw Perry Baker. I saw Carl Niles. I saw them three. I'm like, bro, oh, snap. And like, bro, I actually got excited watching them three play.
You know what's
I got excited. That's why I be trying to tell people representation matters.
It does. And you know what makes it even better? Those are three genuinely good people. Like, they are genuinely nice people. Nia is probably one of my favorite USA rugby people, just in terms of personality. That's a whole
rolling. I be having her rolling on my post.
Her genuineness and her ability to connect with the people around quickly too, legit. Yeah. Perry, again, a dude. I always remember back in 2016, whenever he took the time, they were all packing up, trying to get ready to go. Still gave me the good little 9-minute interview to be able to do anything. I was like, yo, that's legit. Like, and genuinely good person. Carl and Al, even in Chicago, I think I talked with him a little bit there. Genuinely good guy, funny guy. Like, and I'm gonna get my real interview with him because that's this. I got Perry and Carl, and I have to get it. Like, I'm like this. Let me put it like this: I'm getting all the black people. Like, there's not gonna be there's not like if there's anything that I'm not, I will get every black, at least elite level rugby player minimum, and get that out.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, one non-black player that I love watching is Danny Barrett, bro.
Danny Barrett's a whole dog out there, man. That man's
he made with it. I mean,
that's what you want.
I'm seeing Danny Barrett play. He's like, get off me. I want this. This is my yard.
It's genuinely that's why it's so entertaining. That's all you ask for. Entertainment. Entertain me. Show me in this rugby. Show me what it is to just feel like you're there, so I can imprint myself in there and be like, yo, we dominated your country. And that's why I need Great Britain to also lose. Again, I'm forever, they're my villains. Great Britain, not necessarily England, not necessarily the UK, but whenever they use that Union Jack flag, that, the cross and the blue and the red, and all that, they're my enemies, all right? But they're just England, they're just Scotland, Ireland, well, maybe not so Ireland, Wales, we good. We good in those individual instances.
Yeah, rugby really showed me a lot about different cultures. I met my first British Asian guy that's on our team.
Oh,
he's on our team. His name is Sonny.
Nice.
Real cool dude. Sonny's so cultured though. He's like, bro, I went to New York. I've been to black clubs. I love this. I've dated black women. Brandon, I'm used to this. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm already in the culture. Yo, I was at the cookout. Yo, I've been grilling at the cookout. Like, yo, why you just try to get me like I'm a first timer in this?
It just touched me. I never met a Asian British guy with an Asian guy with a British accent. That by far still got messed me up to the day. I'm like, bro, you're the first. And I've been all around, man. I've never met a British Asian guy ever in my life.
It changes it. Uses the sport as a tool to be able to get opportunities to go to other places and to experience other things. You can't do it with any other sport. Like, even if they say like soccer is another one that you can travel with, soccer has such a bitter inner competition, whatever, that it doesn't work the same.
It's cutthroat.
Very cutthroat, exactly. So it doesn't work the same, and you can't do it with basketball because there's such it's the limitation of size, and there's just so many dynamics that you can't utilize for it. So as corny as it is, but people say it, but it's just like, yo, no, it's real. Like, rugby is probably the most interesting, and especially because of the fact that it adds the women into it. Like, yo,
the girls sometimes play harder than us. No lie.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty.
But no, I feel like they get more. Like, I've actually seen when girls play. I've actually seen when a girl can't tackle, she punching the girl.
Yeah.
These girls are for real, man.
No,
I'm like, even our youth girls, some dogs, man. They mean.
I saw them. I saw them play. I watched them on my field.
They're punching each other. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I saw one high school girl play, and one girl, she was on our team, but the other girl, She just came out of nowhere with bad intention. Ugh! And they get in a car. She didn't care. I'm like, what? Why? Why would you do that? But she just did it and just looked down at it. She got carded. And she said, I don't care. She had it coming.
What's going to happen afterwards? Everybody going to get drinks and the social, be able to enjoy and chill together. And that's where it all solves out. And that's the ultimate culminating factor on it. So, oh man, it's wild, man. We're gonna take this up again. We can't give the audience everything in one shot. We can't give it to them all.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You're gonna get like 30,000 views in 3 hours. Hey, I bet you knew before I was getting out here. You saw a lot of my videos. You already knew I was thrown off.
Oh yeah, no. I told you when I saw the Atlanta one, and then I saw you like, I'm with my cousin. She taking me to the airport. I was like, yo, let's go. But even before you put the videos, literally every single question that you put up, every post that you put up in the BIPOC group is something extra wild. Let alone what you put on your own feed. You just got wild shit for the sake of wild shit. I'm like, yo, this is a wild boy out here. This man is doing whatever at this point.
Yeah, people tell me, even people on my black chat, they like, on black chat, rugby chat, they're like, Brandon, why do you post stuff like that? I don't know. I just want to. I just feel like it.
I'm here for it. Like, that's what I might not answer every one of them, but I'm like, yo, keep it going. I never want to be in a position where someone goes, yo, Brandon, chill. I'm like, no, don't let him chill. Sometimes that's just what brings the right amount of fire into it.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I got a lot of inboxes when I put in the Ruggers and Tuggers, if Jesus played rugby, what position would he play? or I also put like, oh, I know when Jesus came back from the dead, he pulled up on Judas. I know he did.
No, I saw that one. I'm just like, yo, this is a wild boy over here. This is a wild boy. Brandon, man, where can they find you, brother?
Oh, find me on Facebook, Brandon Davis. You're gonna see a picture like me. With my rugby stuff on. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that good right here. Or you can catch me on Instagram, Brandon Davis, 2825. I don't know why I put the 2825. All the others, none of them were gone. So I just said, go ahead and do that. So you can catch me on there, or you can catch me on Snapchat, Brand Davis, 34. Football jersey number, 34, back in the day. But Brand Davis, BRANDAVIS, 34.
Let him know. Find them people. Brandon, man, dude, thank you so much for coming through. This was legit awesome. This was legit great. I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, but I legitimately enjoyed. This is why I enjoy taking the risk. Be like, yo, look, it's either we're gonna force it and we're gonna have some fun, or it's gonna naturally have some fun. So this is natural fun.
Oh, it's gonna be natural. You wake up, baby. Single, no kids, good credit. You know what I
mean? Oh man, bro, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Man, Brandon, I appreciate it. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for being on the show. And guys, please check out some of our amazing guests. Last week, we had Jen Salaman from Mexico, rugby women. We had Cody Melfi, Olympian and USA Rugby Men's Sevens. We had Mick Feely of the United Citizens Foundation, the Citizens United Citizens Foundation. Why do I keep saying United Citizens Foundation? We had Mick Feely of Citizens Rugby Foundation, and we've had so many great people. Maria Thomas of Trinidad and Tobago. We've had Akinola Raymond of Old Blue of New York, and future-wise, hopefully USA Men's Sevens. Kirill Guthrie of the James G. Robertson and Clive Sullivan Foundation. Marquise Goodwin, Robert Perry, head coach of Curaçao Rugby. Marquise Goodwin, vice president of the Southern California Rugby Referee Society. We have had Nicolette Pantor of Trinidad and Tobago. We have had Ryan Ginty of Next Level Rugby. We have had Warren Mullis and Preston Thompson of American Rugby Pod, Tozan Tutsitanwe of Viral Rugby. We've had Curitiba Rugby out of Brazil, Tiffany Faye, the former Women's Rugby World Cup captain for 2017 and coach and for Roots Rugby. Tiara Max, state senator for Rhode Island. Komagandi Fishman, head coach of All Navy Rugby and USA Rugby board member. Dr. Amelia Luciano, World Rugby referee and the commissioner for the Harvard Men's Rugby Union. Not Harvard League, the Ivy League Rugby Union. We've had some great people. Man, go check out. We're talking. We're what is it? We're 59 episodes in, y'all. We got so much great stuff, and it's be able to do it because you guys keep listening, and we have so many stories to tell. And I want to thank you, and I hope that you guys get to enjoy it and continue to like it. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe, whether on your podcast, whether on YouTube. Either way, definitely, follow us on Instagram. We want to make sure that we're constantly being able to give back to you. I want to make sure I'm constantly giving back. And this is a way to be able to spread information and let you guys know some of these gems that people can use to be able to get better and be better and do better and make sure that we continue to grow this sport the way it's supposed to be done for everybody. So now, I hope you guys know, though. I hope you guys know that you're happy. I hope that you're healthy. And, of course, I hope you know that you are highly favored. Until next time, cheers.